Right then, this is a walk around video, and this is for a Honda FR-V 1.8 EX automatic. 57 plate, as you can see here, finished in this beautiful metallic blue with a full leather interior as is standard on the EX models. The car is in absolutely lovely condition for the age and mileage it's covered. It's just turned 70,000 miles now. It's got an astonishing service history, which is shown in the advert of the vehicle. But it really is a remarkable car. Front of the car's really clean, lights and lenses completely clear and intact, bumpers pretty much unmarked, bonnet itself, I can't see a stone chip anywhere on there at all. Absolutely amazing. Coming down the near side first, passenger side, absolutely smooth in the panels, really good. Coming on to the near side front alloy, again really good. It's just the very lightest curbing right on the outside edge there. And then coming down the remaining panel work, it's just got a real luster to it, and it's been washed off but not polished, so it just shows how much of its natural kind of gloss it's maintained over the years by good ownership. Rear alloy, again wonderful condition. And on the back of the car, again, bumper corners really clean. Rear parking sensors which work perfectly on the car again, these models. And round to the offside, driver's side of the car, which, as with the near side, is like looking in a mirror on the panels. Just wonderfully clean. Offside rear alloy, again in lovely condition there. Continuing down the panel work. It's just exceptionally clean, it really is. It's nothing more I can say than that. Offside front alloy, again very good. There is some curbing right on the outside edge on this, so at least we've got something that shows the car's a used car in an obvious way. But it is in fabulous condition. It isn't to say, as I always say, there will be the odd little mark on the car which either I've missed or the camera doesn't pick up on, so please do bear that in aware. I did see a couple of tiny little touch-ins, but I didn't see them walking around that time, but they are there. But they are minuscule. Just coming inside the car now, again, really good sized boot for this type of car. And it's all been kept very nicely back here. Just coming inside the car now, the interior is in fantastic condition. Again, problem with people carriers, even ones as beautifully built as these, is that they are used by families with kids, and their kids are not that different to mine, and they can trash cars in 2 seconds. But this has been kept just wonderfully, far better than most you're going to see in the marketplace. Coming to the front now, all very clean and tidy. Full set of original Honda mats in here, and then leatherwork on these front 3 seats. I mean, the layout of the interior is absolutely genius, of course. I mean, they obviously copied the idea from Fiat, but we'll keep that quiet. Right, so coming to the front now, again, all been kept wonderfully clean and tidy. And driver's seat there, again, is in absolutely fantastic condition. Just to show you, with a little pull of the tab, you can drop that front seat down, and that is possibly the world's most comfortable armrest now. So sat inside the car now, engine's running through this section, so the dashboard can be seen illuminated. Dashboard just looks brand new, and it's incredible, and it's such a stylish dashboard. Even after all this time, it looks really fantastic. It would go into a modern car very easily. You see there, 70,223 miles, and apart from a low fuel light, there are no warning lights on the dashboard at all whilst the engine's running. But the video, as is quite often the case, especially on grainy mornings like this morning, trying to beat the rain coming in, doesn't really do justice to the interior of the car. Right then, this is a quick road test video, and this is for a Honda FR-V 1.8 EX automatic. This particular car is registered LS57PNK, and after I've done a couple hundred miles over the weekend, it's now just crept over 70,000 actually. It's 70,217 miles. Reason we do the videos essentially is just so that anyone that's looking at the car in an advert online actually gets to see that car in operation. we know just how frustrating it can be to go and see a car which looks good in the advert and in the description, only to find out when you get there that it's got a fundamental mechanical issue which manifests itself on test drive. So hence that's why we do the test drives. Test drive is also done on these very quiet country roads very close to our premises, so hopefully be representative of what you'd feel yourself offered a test drive in this particular car. As the advert shows, I mean, it's been very well looked after, lovely ownership on the car, and I have to say it's immediately obvious because the car has a wonderful tightness and freshness to the vehicle. You know, it beggars belief to believe the car is now coming up to 12 years old, because it feels like a car half that age, if that. Engines are beautiful in them. It of course starts absolutely instantly and it settles to an even idle. There are no warning lights on the dashboard at all relating to the engine. The only light on there currently is a low fuel light, which obviously fuel will get rid of, and the temperature gauge is running at a third, which is exactly where it should be on a Honda car. The engines themselves are, you know, they're brilliant units for lots of reasons. I mean, the obvious stuff, which Honda have an enviable reputation for, is reliability and longevity, and these engines can do massive mileage with just the normal servicing, and they're incredibly tough. We don't really touch them. It's not to say that they can't go wrong or never go wrong, because that'd be a complete lie, but you know, I can't remember the last time, certainly not in the last 5 years, I've had an issue with anything on one of these cars. Engine is very quiet in operation. It's very, very smooth as well. It's a really fabulous unit. Gearbox on the car, very well suited to the car. Just get it to kick down there to get it down there, so it shows it all works perfectly. But it's a lovely gear change, nice and smooth. Ratios are matched to the engine to sort of extract the best of the economy and performance. There's a sort of compromise between the two. All the gear changes are nice and sweet, very, very slick. You should still do the same checks on any gearbox regardless of, you know, what their reputation is, and these are a reputation for being absolutely bulletproof. And that's just to make sure that, you know, from neutral into drive, there's no sort of delays or great thunks going into gear, and on the move the gear changes should be very, very smooth indeed, and they certainly are in this car. It's exactly what you'd expect, but this is a very low mileage for one of these, I have to say. Steering on the car, I mean, this is a generation of car I adore, because this is proper power steering. It's proper hydraulic power steering, no electric power steering on it at all, which means you actually get genuine weight and feel, which is a bizarre thing to be looking for on an MPV perhaps, but it's just a lovely setup, and it makes the car feel so solid and secure on the road. It really does. It's just a fabulous setup. Track's absolutely bullet straight, by the way. There's no vibrations at all from the steering wheel at this speed or any speed up to the legal limit. Chassis of the car, I've said it in many previous videos in FR-Vs, I still reckon this is the most comfortable riding of all Honda cars. It's just a very, very comfortable car to drive, and they've allowed it to be slightly softer on the springs because the width of the car means you don't get huge body roll angles. So this allowed them to do that, and it's exploited it beautifully, because I can't think of a more comfortable car to drive around in. It's just wonderful. What I'm looking for, by the way, on road test is also just listening for any sort of clonks or thumps coming from underneath the vehicle. It shouldn't be there, and there's nothing at all. You know, you can hear it hitting a bump, but nothing thereafter. Brakes on the car, just give it a nice shove. Really good brake pedal on the vehicle, again nice and powerful. What I'm really looking for is basically any kind of rumbling or vibrations coming back through the brake pedal, of which there's nothing, and it should pull the car nice and straight. It shouldn't sort of pull violently left or right, and it doesn't do that either, so all in fine order. Looking around inside the car, you know, I do labour the point, and I know I do, I can't help myself, but I mean, what an amazing interior. It's
even after all these years, it's still a really fascinating place to sit and operate a car. Brilliant visibility, wonderful dash design, and the build quality on these cars is sensational. There's not a hint of a squeak or a rattle from the interior. It feels as though I'm driving a car off Honda's production line. That's how tight and taut the car feels, and it really, really, really bugs me when you get the same motoring magazine saying the same stupid things, and that's basically when they road test brand new cars, they always say Volkswagen, Audi, BMW, Mercedes, basically anything German, is brilliantly built and everything else isn't. And that's not true. The simple fact is, if you put a Volkswagen Touran, and we've had a few, side by side, same mileage, same age, against one of these things, these are built to a completely different level, which is why in this car there's no warning lights on, everything's working, air conditioning's pumping out cold air, heated seats work perfectly, every function you use, press, cruise control, auto lights, auto wipers, still working as intended, but it also isn't a rattle box inside. All the trim is held together brilliantly well in the car, because they can get abused, as any car can. You know, that's any car that's designed to carry kids about, and you know, I can vouch for the fact that my kids aren't saints, and they can pull apart any car as good as anyone's. But they find it hard to pull these ones apart. They are, say, quite beautifully made, and the interior design is just genius, of course. I mean, yes, it's quite obvious they copied the idea from Fiat, but they've executed it far better, in my personal opinion. Just the build quality, if nothing else. But it just basically means that all 6 occupants are in full-size chairs virtually, but the rear seat passengers aren't pressed right against the back window, which horrifies me on some cars. It really does. Looking around the dashboard itself, as I said, you've got climate control system pumping out lovely cold air, radio, everything works. Dashboard is typical Honda, neat, legible, all the information's there, all the readouts absolutely perfect. Steering wheel looks and feels pretty much as new in hand. It really is a fabulous car. You know, whoever's lucky enough to get this one next will be taking on a really wonderful vehicle. As I said at the start of the video, the point of the video is, as brief as it might be, just to show you the car in operation, but to pick up any issues. There's nothing at all, and giving it no allowance for age or mileage, it still drives absolutely beautifully. And I've spent many years, over 20 years, selling Honda product cars at the main dealer and independently as we are now. So I've got no excuses if it comes to sort of something that's amiss whilst driving a car. You know, I can't detect anything that might be not right underneath, but it all feels absolutely perfect. But this is a fabulous example of a really great car. As always though, any questions, don't hesitate, please do give us a call.